Greetings, Patrick here, and it's Tuesday. And if it's Tuesday, that can only mean one thing. It must be Library Day. And it is, boys and girls, it is. So last week was pretty thin. And so wasn't really having, didn't hold out much hope for today either, especially when you gauge the activities of the volunteers. The longer the volunteers are making noise in the back room, the better it is for everybody. That means they've had a lot of stuff come in that week, and a lot of stuff needs to go on the shelves. But for the second week in a row, we didn't really get that. We got really fast, really fast work by the volunteers. So you just hope for the best. But I did find a few things. In fact, I found a movie that will probably surprise you when I tell you I have not seen it. I never saw it, but I saw it today and I picked it up and I'm going to watch it. I got some books. Um, I'd like to sit here and say that I'm going to store them away for wintertime, but I bought two books last week and I just absolutely crushed them. So I got three more today. I read my first book by Harlan Coben called Win, and I really liked it. I thought it was really cool and it was a good mystery. So I decided to go back and see if I could find some more of his work, and I did. I found two books. One called The Innocent, which I know nothing about. This is not part of his Myron Bolitar series, so this is a standalone, I think. But I did find a Myron Bolitar book, and it's called Home. And this features the character whose book I just read called Win. And this is Win is the main character's best friend, and he got his own book. And this is a book where they work together. So I know nothing about the series. This is my first time into it. But surprisingly, the piece of resistance, the centerpiece of my haul today, the one thing I'm most excited about was I got the brand new Lucas Davenport Virgil Flowers book, Judgment Prey. This just came out, just like now, and this is selling for $30. $30, hardbacks, $30. But I got this for $1. I paid $1 for it, and so happy to have it. Good to see Lucas Davenport and Virgil Flowers again. I've noticed that John Sanford has combined these two together on Adventures. Before it would just be a Lucas Davenport book, but since I think he has quit writing the Virgil Flowers novels, which is a real shame because I really enjoy them quite a bit. But he has decided to combine these two from now on. So this is Judgment Day. And this time period of this book's a little different. It's like he skipped a book. But I'll talk about that more when I review it. All right. So there's three books that I got. We do got movies, though. We got movies and stuff like that. Like I said, not a big haul. The first thing I picked up is I picked up Grimm Season 1 on Blu-ray. I have a lot of these on DVD. I don't believe I have these on Blu-ray. So when this came up, I decided to grab it. So yeah, Grimm is a fantastic series. If you've never watched it, it's really good. I've watched it all the way through about 3 times, and I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend it. It's very exciting. I wish they'd bring it back, but they won't. Next, I got something a little surprising, maybe, but I was curious, so it was on Blu-ray, so I said, okay, let me go ahead and take a peek at it, and I got Disney's Nutcracker in the Four Realms. It's live action, so a great cast. You have Keira Knightley, Mackenzie Foy, Misty Copeland, with Helen Mirren and the mighty Morgan Freeman. So, yeah, I got that. Okay. Next up is the movie I mentioned before. I have never seen this movie. I didn't have it in the collection. Never watched it. I know that the year that it came out, um, I was surprised because this is such the other way to the other extreme. Um, this actually won Best Picture back when it came out. What year did it come out in? 1989, which I think is the same year that Glory came out. Glory came out in 1989. Think about that. Think about this. Glory came out in 1989. Fantastic movie. Um, Denzel Washington won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for that role. The movie that they lost to, Best Picture, Best Actor, what they lost to, it's just, I'm perplexed. I truly am perplexed. But the movie they lost to was this one, Driving Miss Daisy. Now I know this is a good movie. I heard all about the goodness. I heard people say they ran around it, and Dan Aykroyd's really good on it, and everything else. But I don't care how good this movie is. It's not going to be as good as Glory, and truly don't understand it. How a movie like this wins Best Picture over a movie like Glory, that was so much more important, had so much more heart. But there it is. But I've never watched it, so I'm gonna give it a watch. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, it's sort of like when Saving Private Ryan lost to 10 Things I Hate About You, or something like that. I think they lost like the best picture, the best actor to that movie, and it's just like, or Shakespeare in Love. I think maybe it was called Shakespeare in Love, and it was just like, what the hell? That's how I'm looking at this. I don't know. Maybe you guys. What do you tell me? You tell me. Saving. I mean, would you watch? Do you think Glory is a more important film or Driving Miss Daisy? Drop a comment down below because I'd like to know what you guys think. And super happy to find this National Geographic Stonehenge. Very rare for me to get National Geographics. I love them, and I'm so glad to find them when I do. So I'll be watching this relatively soon. Okay. I guess I could say the Piece of Resistance Part 2. Part 2 coming up. So so this is pretty, I think this is actually the first time I think this has happened, where I found two Criterions. I found Rushmore, which I saw this at the theater, and it's very cute. Jason Schwartzman and Bill Murray. This is an early effort by, I do believe, Wes Anderson. Um, this is a fun movie, bittersweet. So there's that, and yeah, not too bad. A little rough. A little rough. The pamphlet's got to beat up a little bit, but yeah. So I got Rushmore. And then the library dropped a Criterion, and they dropped The Worst Person in the World, directed by Joachim Trier. And this is part of the Oslo trilogy, unofficially, or so they say. And this one actually is pretty good shape too. So there we go. Oh yeah, because you guys all want to know. This is Criterion. This is wow, really? So this is spine number 65. Wow, that's the way earliest I've ever found, I think. 65. Okay, so that's the 65th Criterion. Thanks. Unfortunately, I can't tell you the number on this one because they have the library right here. But I got two Criterion for $1.25 a piece. Ken from Mid-Level Media, talking to you. Yeah, I gotta give Ken and Michelle from Mid-Level Media a shout out. They do what they call an audit show, and basically, Ken goes down to the basement and he shows his wife all the movies that he's bought for the month and how much he spent for them. And then she gives him a passing grade, or she kicks his ass. So I caught it live, and it was interesting, really interesting. I highly recommend watching. In fact, for this library hall, I'm gonna put that one on here because you guys really need to check that out. It's funny as hell. But I sort of understand a little bit about like the mentality. Like Ken says that he says I just want to get as many as I can now because who knows how much longer it will last. He's got a point. He's got a point about that. I know a lot of people say, well, you're hoarding movies, you're hoarding movies. But then again, are we really? Because the way physical media is going, it's going to be pricing itself out. The less avenues that we have to buy it, the more the prices are going up for it online. Because there's not that many of them. I mean, the studios are not making mass copies. They're not printing up. They're not going to print up 50,000 copies of GI Joe. They're not going to do that anymore. They're gonna price up maybe 10, 12, 15,000, and see what happens. So they don't want any overhead. They don't want any inventory, and they won't be able to put them out in the public's eye because there's not that many places left that you can buy them from. So we're gonna see less. We're gonna see less copies of movies than we have been, and that is a concern. If you don't really get what you need to get when you get it, you might be paying a much higher price in the future. So something to think about to all of our fellow cinephobia, cinephile fans. Oh, speaking of cinephobia, don't forget to go ahead and get the Goldsmith. This is I picked this up and I reviewed it. Highly recommend it. All right, that's it. That's all I got for today. I stretched it out to like 13 minutes. So it seemed like I had a big haul, but I didn't. But I had a fun one. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.